Do not click away. Do not scroll. Stay with me, because what you are about to hear is not random, and it is not ordinary. There is a reason this found you at this exact moment in your life, with this exact title, on this exact day. God and Michael beg you, open this immediately. Avoid disaster in next 72 hours. It is an emergency. Those words are not just dramatic text on a screen. They are a wake-up call. They are a trumpet in the spirit. They are the sound of heaven breaking into your timeline, refusing to sit back and watch you walk blindly towards something that could wound your heart, steal your peace, or derail your purpose. Right now, as you hear these words, something is shifting around you. You may not see it yet with your physical eyes, but in the unseen, there is movement. There is a rearranging. There is protection being put in place. There is a shield rising around you. Archangel Michael is closer than you realize. He is standing on your right side, sword drawn, eyes fixed on the path ahead of you. He is not calm. He is not casual. He is urgent. He is saying, it's an emergency. Listen. Stay. Do not run away from this message. You are standing too close to a turning point to look away now. Take a slow, deep breath. In through your nose. Hold it. Now exhale slowly. Feel the air move through you. You are not here by accident. You did not stumble across this by mistake. Something in your spirit responded when you saw this message. Something deep inside of you whispered, "This is for me. I have to listen." That inner whisper is not fear. It is not superstition. It is recognition. Your soul recognizes the voice of guidance. Your heart knows when heaven is trying to get your attention. For a while now, you have felt a strange tension inside you. A heaviness that comes and goes without explanation. Restless nights. Thoughts racing. A feeling that something is coming, but you can't quite see what it is. You have tried to rationalize it. You've told yourself, it's just stress. It's just life. I'm overthinking. But deep down, you know it's more than that. You have been sensing the pressure of a crossroads. You have been standing in the shadow of a decision, a conversation, a connection, a risk, something that could either bless you or break you. And heaven refused to let you walk into it blind. That is why God and Archangel Michael are leaning in right now, speaking through these words, asking you, begging you, to stay until the very end. Because in the next 72 hours, there are choices, movements, and moments coming toward you that matter more than you realize. Handled in confusion, they could feel like tragedy. Handled with clarity, they become breakthrough. This message is not here to scare you. It is here to guide you. It is here to pull you out of the fog before you take a step you may regret. It is here to remind you that you are not alone in this, and you never were. Listen, there is a plan that was being formed around you, quietly. Maybe by someone else. Maybe by your own fears. Maybe by circumstances that felt outside of your control. Words were being prepared. Decisions were being made in rooms you were not in. Doors were about to open or close without your full understanding. And if you had walked into that moment without this clarity, it could have felt like a sudden storm crashing into a house with no foundation. But heaven stepped in. God said, "No." Michael raised his sword. And instead of allowing the blow to land, they redirected you to this moment. To this exact message. To these words. Right now, every second you stay present, every breath you take as you lean in, is part of that protection. You are not just watching a video or reading words on a screen. You are sitting in a conversation with the divine. You are being briefed about your own life. You are being warned, yes. But more importantly, you are being equipped. Before we go further, pause for one moment and become aware of where you are. Notice the room. Notice the light. Notice the sound around you. Now notice what is happening inside you. The tightness in your chest. The knot in your stomach. The racing thoughts. As you pay attention to these words, feel how that pressure begins to loosen, even just a little. That is not a coincidence. That is the first sign that the weight you have been carrying is not entirely yours to carry. From this moment on, something in your life will not be the same. You are being moved from confusion into clarity. From fear into awareness. From walking alone into walking with guidance. If you have been waiting for a sign, this is it. You don't need to scroll somewhere else, you don't need another confirmation, you don't need to ask, God, is this really you? You are hearing the answer right now. If this is already touching your heart, if something in you is saying, I know this is for me, take a second, right now, to decide, I am going to stay until the very end. I'm not running from this. I'm claiming this protection over my life. Say it out loud if you can, I am protected. I am listening. I am ready. Your words carry power. When you declare, I am protected, you are agreeing with heaven. You are allowing that shield to settle more deeply over your life. You are saying, I choose the path of guidance over the path of guessing. Now listen carefully. There is a reason the number 72 is being highlighted. Think of it not just as hours on a clock, but as a window, a passageway, a crossing. Within any span of 3 days, small decisions are made that ripple far into your future. A text you send or do not send. A call you answer or ignore. A door you walk through, or walk away from. A secret you keep, or finally bring into the light. These may not look like huge events from the outside. But spiritually, they can be turning points. This is why you have been feeling so much internal pressure. You can feel that you are close to something. You can't name it, but your soul knows, I am standing at a threshold. God is not telling you this so you panic. He is not saying, a tragedy is coming, and you are powerless. He is saying something very different, there was a plan to shake you. I am turning it into a plan to shape you. There was an attack designed to break you. I am transforming it into a lesson that will build you. There was confusion meant to drain you. I am opening your eyes so you can step into clarity. Archangel Michael has not come to frighten you. He has come to stand guard over your choices. To whisper in your spirit when something is off. To nudge you when you are about to ignore a red flag. To strengthen your heart when it is time to say no to what is not for you. Think back over the last few weeks. Have you noticed people suddenly revealing their true colors? Strange tension in relationships that once felt stable? Opportunities that looked good on the surface, but something about them didn't feel right? Random delays, cancellations, or interruptions that kept you from going somewhere or meeting someone at a certain time? You may have been frustrated. You may have thought, why is everything going wrong? Why does it feel like nothing is smooth? But heaven wants you to see something. Not every delay is a denial. Some delays are shields. Some doors are being held closed, not because you are unworthy, but because what waits behind them is not what it pretends to be. For some of you, the disaster heaven is trying to help you avoid is not a car crash, or a freak accident, or something from a movie. It is an emotional collapse. It is a spiritual burnout. It is the slow, quiet breaking of your heart through manipulation, lies, or betrayal. It is wasting years of your life pouring into something, or someone, that was never capable of honoring your value. God is saying, you were not designed to be destroyed by someone else's confusion. You were not created to live at the mercy of other people's brokenness. You are my child. Your heart is my concern. Your future is under my watch. So what is really happening in these 72 hours? You are being pulled out of harm's way before you even realize how close you were to it. Conversations that were planned to shame you will be silenced. Plans that were being made to use you will be exposed. Situations that would have drained your finances, your energy, or your mental peace will be shown for what they truly are before you step all the way in. Some of this will feel like a loss at first. You might think, why did that person suddenly pull away? Why did that job not work out? Why did that trip get cancelled? Why am I feeling pushed away from something I thought I wanted so badly? Heaven wants you to understand, you are not losing what is meant for you. You are losing what was meant to limit you. Archangel Michael is swinging his sword, not just at demons in the dark, but at illusions you have believed about yourself and your life. He is cutting away false obligations, you thinking you owe people things you do not owe them. Old labels, you calling yourself names that God never called you. Fear-based decisions, choices you were about to make just because you were scared to be alone, scared to start over, or scared to wait for better. Listen closely. In the next few days, you will notice a shift in 3 main areas: your inner world, your relationships, your direction. First, your inner world. The mental noise you have been living with, the constant, what if? What if? What if? Is going to begin to quiet down. You will wake up and, instead of being greeted by a wave of dread, you will feel a strange calm. You might not understand why at first, but you will feel it. This is the peace that comes when heaven takes over a fight that was never yours to win in the first place. You have been trying so hard to hold everything together using your own strength. You have been analyzing, overthinking, replaying conversations, anticipating other people's reactions. You have been your own strategist, your own protector, your own defender. And it is exhausting. God is saying, rest. Let me carry what you were never built to carry. You do not have to see 10 steps ahead. You only need to be faithful to the one step I am illuminating right now. Second, your relationships. Some people in your life have been secretly at war with your peace. Not necessarily because they are evil, but because they are unhealed, unaware, or unwilling to grow. They pull you into drama. They drain your energy. They make you doubt your own worth. They keep you small, so they don't have to confront their own fear of change. In the next 72 hours, you are going to see some of this more clearly than ever before. You may overhear something. You may notice a pattern. You may suddenly feel a strong discomfort in conversations that you used to brush off. You are not being paranoid. You are being awakened. Archangel Michael is pointing, saying, "Here. Look. This is not harmless. This is costing you too much." Some connections will start to fade, almost without effort on your part. People who did not truly value you may become distant. Invitations that used to pull you into chaos may stop coming. Old cycles will begin to break simply because you are no longer available for them. Do not chase what heaven is removing. Do not run after what heaven is gently taking out of your hands. Instead, pay attention to who remains. To who steps forward. To who shows up with honesty, kindness, and consistency. New people will begin to appear on your path. Sometimes in simple ways. A supportive message. A helpful stranger. Someone who sees your potential and speaks to it, instead of using your pain against you. These are not random. They are destiny helpers. People whose lives intersect with yours at exactly the right time, to help you build, heal, grow, and step into the next level of your purpose. Third, your direction. For a while now, your life may have felt like walking through fog. You had ideas and dreams, but no clear sense of how or when. You tried to move forward, but doors stayed closed. You tried to start new things, but your energy kept crashing. You may have even wondered if God had forgotten about you. He has not. He was preparing you. He was maturing your faith. He was deepening your roots so that when the next season of growth comes, you will not topple over at the first strong wind. In these coming hours and days, you will begin to notice practical openings. An idea will suddenly click in your mind. Something you couldn't figure out for months. A document you needed appears. A call back you were waiting for finally comes through. A small opportunity shows itself, one that may not look like everything you prayed for, but carries the seed of it. Do not ignore these nudges. Do not dismiss them as too small. The biggest shifts in your life often begin with a quiet yes. Now, I want you to do something simple but powerful. If you can, place your hand on your heart. Feel it beating. You are alive for a reason. Your heart is still beating because your story is not over. God is not finished with you. Say these words with me, softly but with intention. I am protected. I am guided. I am not alone. I choose wisdom. I choose peace. I choose my future over my fear. As you speak these words, imagine them rising like light around you. This is not imagination for the sake of fantasy. This is you agreeing with what heaven is already doing. If this message is resonating deeply with you, if you can feel the layers of fear starting to peel away, take a moment, after this message, or even now if you can, to write the words, I am protected. I am ready. Write them down somewhere. In a journal. On your phone. Even in a comment where others can see. Why? Because when you put your intention into words, you ground it into reality. You anchor it. You say, I am not just hearing this. I am receiving it. I am standing in it. You are not just being protected from disaster, you are being prepared for blessing. Heaven is not only closing harmful doors. It is also opening new, healthy ones. Let's talk about something many are afraid to admit, your finances and your stability. Lately, you may have been very worried about money, work, or your future security. Maybe bills are stacking up. Maybe your job feels uncertain. Maybe your dreams feel impossible because you do not see the resources yet. This financial pressure has not just been about numbers in a bank account. It has been about your sense of safety. You have been asking, will I be okay? Will I make it? Am I going to lose everything? Listen carefully, God knows what you need. He is not indifferent to your practical realities. The same hands that protect your heart also guide your provision. One of the disasters being blocked from you in this season is a financial trap disguised as an opportunity. A quick fix that would have cost you more than it gave. An agreement that looked promising, but was not fair to you. A deal that would have bound you to the wrong people or systems. In the next 72 hours, you may see something clearly that you were close to saying yes to. Perhaps a pressure to sign before you are ready. A tug to commit to something that doesn't fully sit right in your spirit. Do not let fear of lack push you into a covenant that robs you of your peace. Archangel Michael is standing by you, reminding you, what is for you will not require you to abandon yourself to get it. What is from God will not threaten your dignity, your values, or your rest. Provision will come. Sometimes through your own creativity waking up. Sometimes through unexpected support. Sometimes through simple but wise decisions, made one after another, that lead you into a season of more than enough. You are being guided away from false security and into true stability. Into a life where you are not driven by panic, but by purpose. Now, I want to speak to a different kind of disaster heaven is helping you avoid, the disaster of self-betrayal. Of continuing to live as a smaller version of yourself just to make others comfortable. Of silencing your own needs and truth until you no longer recognize your own reflection. You have dimmed your light for too long. You have apologized for simply existing. You have questioned your worth because of how others mishandled you. God and Michael are saying, no more. The season of shrinking is over. The season of survival only is ending. You are entering a season of becoming, of standing tall, of speaking truth, of honoring the person I created you to be. This may feel unfamiliar. You may feel guilty when you start to set boundaries. You may feel selfish when you say no to what drains you. You may feel scared when you step away from environments that harm you, even when you know it's the right thing. But remember, you are not walking away from people. You are walking toward your purpose. You are not abandoning others. You are abandoning your own self-neglect. In the next 72 hours, there may be a moment where your old pattern shows up and invites you back, a message from someone who only reaches out when they need something. An invitation into the same drama you've escaped before. A temptation to go back to what broke you, simply because it feels familiar. Pause in that moment. Remember these words. Ask yourself, is this leading me closer to peace, or back to pain? If your body tightens, if your spirit feels heavy, if your first reaction is dread, that is your inner alarm. That is the Holy Spirit, that is heaven, that is Michael saying, this is one of the paths we are rescuing you from. Don't go back there. Instead, choose differently. Even a small different choice is powerful. Silence instead of reacting. Walking away instead of arguing. Taking your time instead of rushing. Saying, I need to think about this, instead of saying yes out of fear. These are the choices that turn a potential tragedy into a testimony. As you begin to make choices that match your worth, watch how heaven responds. The more you honor your own soul, the more clearly you will feel God's presence in your daily life. You will begin to notice little miracles, waking up with a sense of hope for no obvious reason. Feeling a sudden urge to clean, declutter, and shift your environment. Finding old items that remind you of who you used to be before the world wore you down. Reconnecting with dreams you buried years ago. This is not nostalgia. This is resurrection. Parts of you that were declared dead, your joy, your confidence, your creativity, your faith, are being called back to life. As your outer life is being protected from disaster, your inner life is being rebuilt from the ground up. You are learning to live again, not just exist. You are learning to love again, not just endure. You are learning to trust again, first in God, then in yourself. Now hear this, most people move through their whole lives on autopilot, never realizing when heaven stepped in for them. They brush off the near misses, the delays, the intuitive warnings. They chalk everything up to chance. But you are different. You are awake now. You are being invited into a partnership with the divine. This is why you cannot click away yet. God is not only removing you from danger, He is inviting you into destiny. You are being positioned. For some, this positioning will look like a new responsibility. A chance to lead where you once followed. A chance to speak where you once stayed silent. A chance to create where you once only consumed. You are being given influence, not for ego, but for service. To be a voice of peace in a world of noise. To be a safe place in a world of chaos. To be a living proof that protection and purpose are real. You may not feel ready. You may say, "Who am I to do this?" Who am I to lead? Who am I to be chosen? God answers gently, you are mine. That is enough. I do not call the perfect. I perfect the called. I do not wait for you to have no fear. I walk with you in spite of it. The next time you look in the mirror, look into your own eyes. You might not recognize the fullness of who you are becoming yet. But there is a spark there. A glimmer. A quiet strength that was not there before. That is the mark of grace. That is the reflection of a soul that has been rescued from a path it did not even fully see. Now, as this 72-hour window unfolds, keep 3 simple anchors in your heart. 1. Awareness. When you feel anxiety spike, pause. Breathe. Ask, is this a real danger, or an old fear? Let heaven show you. 2. Alignment. When faced with choices, big or small, ask, does this align with who I am becoming, or does it drag me back to who I used to be? 3. Agreement. Use your words to agree with protection, not with panic. Instead of saying, everything always goes wrong for me, say, I am being guided. I am being kept. Things are coming together for my good. Your words are keys. They open doors or close them. Choose them carefully. If you feel led, you can even write this down right now. I agree with my protection. I agree with my growth. I agree with my new life. Let this be your declaration. Understand this, there is no message, no video, no script that can replace your own choices. This is not a magic spell. This is an invitation. Heaven is giving you a map and a shield. But you still choose which way to walk. The beautiful thing is, you do not have to choose alone. Every time you feel uncertain, whisper a simple prayer, God, guide me. Michael, stand with me. Show me truth. You will be surprised at how answers begin to surface. Through your intuition. Through quiet inner knowing. Through wise people crossing your path. Through opportunities opening or closing at just the right time. The big tragedy that was coming your way does not have to define you. In fact, it does not have to touch you at all in the way it was meant to. What was meant to crush you can become a stepping stone. What was meant to break your heart can become the moment you finally decide to protect it. What was meant to drain your spirit can become the push that drives you into a deeper relationship with God, with yourself, with your purpose. If you are still here, still listening, then you have already made one powerful decision. You chose to stay. You chose to receive. You chose to let heaven interrupt your day. That choice alone has shifted something. You have opened a door for protection to work more actively in your life. You have said, without even realizing, I am willing to be guided. Now, as this message begins to come to a gentle close, feel the atmosphere around you again. Notice, has something changed? Maybe your breathing is a little slower. Maybe your shoulders have dropped from around your ears. Maybe your heart feels just a little less heavy. That is not because your problems magically disappeared. It is because you are no longer facing them as someone abandoned. You are facing them as someone accompanied. Someone protected. someone chosen. From this moment on, every time fear tries to rise and tell you, you are about to lose everything, answer it with truth: I am covered. I am watched over. I am being redirected, not rejected. What is for me will find me. What is not for me will fall away. If this message has been confirmation for you, if you know, deep in your spirit, that God and Archangel Michael have just spoken into your situation, seal it with your own words. Whisper: I claim my new life. I choose peace. I choose protection. I choose purpose. Write it down where you can see it. If you feel led, share it in a comment, not just for you, but to strengthen others walking through similar storms. I claim my new life. I am protected. I am ready. Your testimony may be the light someone else needs in their darkest hour. And remember, this is not the end. This is a beginning. The next 72 hours are not just about avoiding disaster, they are about stepping into a new pattern. A new way of seeing, deciding, and living. You will not go through this alone. You are surrounded. You are held. You are protected by forces you cannot see, but will begin to feel more and more. The same God who brought you to this message will walk with you after you close it. The same Archangel Michael who stands guard now will stand guard tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. You are not fragile chaos. You are a masterpiece in progress. You are not cursed. You are covered. You are not doomed to tragedy. You are destined for transformation. Take one more deep breath. Let gratitude rise in you, even if your situation has not visibly changed yet. Say, thank you for the near misses you will never see. Thank you for the doors that will quietly close before they hurt you. Thank you for the people who will gently drift away to make room for better. Thank you for the peace that is beginning to settle over your heart. Thank you for the new story that is unfolding, one decision, one day, one act of courage at a time. Your new story has begun. Walk into it with your head held high. You are protected. You are loved. You are watched over. And no disaster, no plan, no hidden agenda can cancel what heaven has declared over your life. Stay in this peace. Stay aware. Stay aligned. And watch, with open eyes and an open heart, as the next days and weeks reveal just how deeply you have been carried, just how fiercely you have been defended, and just how beautifully your life is being rewritten. If you are still here, still listening, still reading these words, there is a reason. You did not drift away. You did not get distracted. Something in you knows, this is not finished yet. There is more I need to hear. And you are right. Heaven is not done speaking to you. God is not done warning, comforting, and preparing you. Archangel Michael is not done standing guard over this moment. This is more than just a message. This is a turning point in slow motion. This is a conversation you will look back on one day and say, that was the day something invisible shifted. That was the day I realized I was not alone. That was the day the attack against my life lost its power. Listen closely now. Because what happens in the middle of an emergency is just as important as what happens before or after. Right now, your life is somewhere in that 72-hour window. You are in motion. Things are already unfolding in the background. Heaven wants to walk you through this step by step. Think of these next words as a map, through the next 3 days, and beyond. Let's talk about what may be coming, and what is already being blocked. Let's slow it down. ##### The first 24 hours, the awakening in the first portion of this 72-hour emergency window, heaven is doing one essential thing, waking you up. You may have already felt it. Suddenly, you are seeing things you used to ignore. You are noticing behaviors you used to excuse. You are feeling uneasy about things you used to accept. This is not you becoming negative. This is you becoming aware. God is gently putting light on areas of your life where darkness was trying to grow. Hidden conversations. Unspoken resentments. Unhealthy patterns. Heaven is placing a spotlight on them, not to shame you, but to save you. In this first phase, you may notice a sudden revelation about someone's intentions. A memory from the past rising up, asking to be healed. A sharp awareness that something in your routine is slowly breaking you instead of building you. This is part of the big tragedy that was approaching, not always one big dramatic blow, but the small, daily, quiet things that wear down your soul until there is nothing left of you. Exhaustion. Hopelessness. Resentment. Self-hate. God is saying, no more. You will not sleepwalk through your own life. You will not live numb, pretending everything is fine when your soul is screaming. So in this first period, pay attention to your feelings, especially the uncomfortable ones. They are not your enemy. They are messengers. They say, something needs to change. Something needs to be released. Something needs to be forgiven. When your chest feels tight, when that sudden wave of sadness or anger hits you out of nowhere, pause. Instead of running from it, say, what are you trying to show me? Where have I been ignoring my own pain? This is how you participate in your own rescue. This is how you walk in step with the protection that is already around you. This is how heaven turns a potential tragedy into a revelation. #####hours 24 to 48, the cleansing in the second part of this window, something deeper begins to happen. You may start to feel a strong urge to clean. To rearrange your room. To throw things away. To organize your closet. To open the windows and let air and light in. Do not ignore this. This is not just spring cleaning. This is spiritual cleansing showing up in physical form. Your outer space is mirroring your inner space. As God and Michael clear out the energy of disaster from your path, your body responds. You may feel drawn to delete old messages that carry painful memories. Block numbers that always bring stress. Unfollow accounts that trigger comparison, shame, or fear. Put away objects that tie you to a version of yourself you have outgrown. This is not you being harsh. This is you making room for your new life. Heaven cannot fill a room that is already crowded with what is slowly killing you. In this second phase, you may also feel emotions rising more intensely, tears for no reason. Memories playing in your mind. A desire to journal, to talk, to finally express what has been locked inside. This is good. This is necessary. This is not you falling apart. This is you finally letting go. Archangel Michael is standing at the doorway of your heart, sword in hand, cutting through lies you believed about yourself. I deserve that pain. I'll never have anything better. Maybe I'm asking for too much. Maybe this is just my fate. No. These are not divine truths. They are wounds speaking. They are trauma echoing. Michael is here to break those chains. So if you feel waves of emotion, do not judge yourself. Do not say, I should be stronger. This is strength, to feel, to release, to let yourself be human while heaven does the supernatural. In these hours, you may also receive clear signs. Pay attention if you notice. Repeating numbers, like 111, 222, 333, 444, on clocks, receipts, or screens. Unusual dreams that feel more like messages than random stories. Songs, phrases, or quotes appearing repeatedly with the same theme: peace, protection, letting go, starting over. The sudden appearance of feathers, coins, or images of wings. These are not coincidences. They are gentle reminders, you are not walking through this alone. I am here. I am guiding you. If any of this is already happening in your life, take a moment inside your heart to say, I see it. I acknowledge it. Thank you for guiding me. That simple gratitude opens you wider to even more support. Hashtag hours 48 to 72. The alignment. Now we come to the final stretch of this 72-hour emergency window. By this time, you have been awakened. You have begun to cleanse. Now, heaven moves you into alignment. This is when things start to click. You may wake up with a strong sense of what you need to do next. Realize that you no longer want what you were begging for just days ago. See clearly that a no you received was actually protection. Feel a pull toward a new direction, even if you can't see the full path yet. This is alignment. Your inner compass is being recalibrated. Instead of moving from fear, what if I miss my chance? What if nobody else wants me? What if I'm alone forever? You start to move from trust. What is meant for me will stay. What is not meant for me will go. My worth is not negotiable. This is where the tragedy truly dies. Because tragedy is not only what happens to you. Tragedy is also what you start to believe about yourself because of what happened. And heaven refuses to let you build your identity on what tried to destroy you. So in this last part of the 72 hours, be very mindful of your choices. You may be given a second chance to repeat an old pattern. Or a new chance to choose differently. The same kind of person might reach out. The same kind of opportunity might show up. The same kind of argument might try to start. This is not to torture you. This is to give you the opportunity to say, I am not the old version of myself anymore. I choose differently this time. That single decision can change the whole direction of your life. It can shut the mouth of tragedy. It can turn what was meant for evil into a doorway for good. #### The silent battles heaven has been fighting for you. You need to know something important. There are battles you have felt. And battles you have never known about. Arguments that never happened because someone changed their mind. Accidents that never took place because of a minor delay. Messages that were never sent because a phone died or a signal dropped. Plans that were being made behind your back that quietly fell apart. You might call these luck or random chance. But in the spiritual realm, heaven calls them interventions. There were moments when you were seconds away from saying yes to something that would have taken you years to recover from. And something, a feeling, a distraction, a sudden thought, pulled you away. You thought you were being indecisive. But really, your spirit was being shielded. Archangel Michael has been working long before you ever saw this message. But this moment is different. In this moment, you are being invited to partner with that protection. To walk in agreement with heaven, instead of accidentally fighting against it. When you continue chasing people that God is removing, force doors that won't open, numb your intuition with noise and denial, you make Michael's work harder. When you honor your inner warnings, accept closed doors as redirection, allow your heart to heal instead of running from the pain, you step fully into the shield that is already around you. This is why this message is so urgent. This is why the title screamed at you, open this immediately. Avoid disaster in next 72 hours. It is an emergency. Archangel Michael says, it's an emergency. A big tragedy is coming your way. Open it now or you will cry. Those words are intense because the stakes are high. Your heart is at stake. Your peace is at stake. Your future is at stake. But now you know. Now you are awake. And what you know, you can change. What you see, you can avoid. What you understand, you can outgrow. #### your body, the first earth you must protect. There is another area heaven is urgently highlighting, your body. You have been so busy surviving emotionally and spiritually that you may have neglected the physical vessel carrying you. Late nights with no rest. Skipping meals or overeating in stress. Ignoring the tension in your muscles, the headaches, the fatigue, telling yourself, I'll be fine. I have to keep going. But your body is speaking too. It is the first piece of earth God gave you to steward. In these 72 hours, you may notice a deep need for sleep. A craving for water, simple food, fresh air. A desire to stretch, to move, to walk. A resistance to environments that feel loud, chaotic, or draining. Do not keep betraying your body. Self-neglect is a slow tragedy. Heaven is saying, protect your body the way I am protecting your path. Rest is not laziness. Nourishment is not a luxury. Stillness is not weakness. When you take even small steps to care for your physical self. Drinking more water, resting your eyes from screens, stepping outside for a moment, you are telling your soul, I am worth caring for. This is part of your new life. This is part of what it means to be fully protected. You cannot step into your calling if your body is collapsing under the weight of constant stress. You are being called to wholeness. Not perfection. Wholeness. #### The rewriting of your story. There is something else heaven wants you to understand. You have seen yourself mostly through the lens of your pain. You say things like, I'm broken. I'm unlucky. I'm always the one people hurt. I'm always the one left behind. And so your identity has been built around survival. You think in terms of, how do I get through this day? How do I avoid another heartbreak? How do I keep everyone else happy so no one leaves me? But God never wrote, forever victim, into your story. He wrote, healer, builder, leader, light. The tragedy that was coming for you was not just an event. It was a narrative. A sentence. A looping story that would have kept you small. You were on the verge of making a choice that would have confirmed that narrative. I guess this is all I deserve. I guess this is the best I'll ever get. Heaven is interrupting that sentence. Michael is cutting that storyline in half. Right here. Right now. This is why you may suddenly feel a holy anger rising in you about how you've been treated. A refusal to accept less than you deserve. A stirring desire for more, for yourself, your loved ones, your future. Do not push that away. That is not arrogance. That is awakening. That is your true self remembering who you are. A child of the divine. Not a dumping ground for other people's wounds. Not a doormat. Not a background character in your own life. You are the main character in your story. And your story is shifting genres. From tragedy to transformation. From fear to faith. From constant crisis to deep, unshakable peace. ##### The divine rearrangement of your circle. We need to talk more about the people in your life. Because one of the greatest sources of both blessing and disaster is the company you keep.